Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back for Reign Season 4. We're here to talk about it, me and Alina. So we're back. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Season 4 of Reign. Oh, man, so much has happened, both in between the show and in our lives. But here we are.
Kidding.
Here we are. Nonetheless, Alina Vision.
Hey, what's up, guys? So good to be back. You can follow me on all social media at Alina Vision, and that's Vision with 2 S's.
You know what the funny thing is? When I first met you, I couldn't even really say your name.
I know.
And you know what? We might as well be. We're like best of friends at
We
this
are.
point.
We really are. We see each other every day. Every single day.
So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the journey with us. If you're joining us for the very first time, welcome. Glad you found us. If you're a historian of the Reign After show, if you will, you'll know that Keaton and JB Zimmerman, they're co-hosts of ours. They're going to be popping in as well.
Yep.
The show time keeps changing in terms of, right, it used to be on Mondays, and
it was on Sundays, and then it was Wednesdays, but...
So now it's Fridays, and so our after show is going to be Sundays at 4 p.m. If you want to check out us live. But more importantly, that's when the episode drops, so whether on demand in audio or video, that's when you can catch us. And hopefully that will allow Keaton and JB to participate.
Come on in. We miss them. We love having them here.
That's right. And in lieu of Cast Corner today, we'll do some news and gossip that I've been able to find.
Yes, I love my gossip.
But without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's start with overall thoughts for Season 4.
I'm just really excited. I mean, it feels like it's been so long since Season 3. I'm glad that now we're getting kind of like a I don't know, not coastal, but just different spaces. We were in France, we were in Scotland, we were in England. So the stories are kind of coming together in that aspect. There's definitely a lot more in between with Elizabeth and Mary, which I'm really liking, and seeing that whole rivalry. But yeah, I'm just super excited for it to be back. What about you?
Yeah, the first episode, in a lot of ways, you know, there's a lot of exposition. You sort of have to reshuffle the deck, and I thought they did that overall nicely. You know, with Greer, we moved her to Scotland. We didn't need a whole explanation. She was here, good. And yeah, you know, I'm excited. Obviously, there was a couple of cliffhangers. I don't know if I still believe Leith is fully dead, although he seems like that's where it's headed, but who knows?
Who knows? That's very open-ended, because it could be, couldn't be.
Yeah.
I'm hoping no. I'm hoping he pops up somewhere, but we'll see. And where's Bash?
Yeah, you know, so many questions. But let's start with, why don't we start over in France? Go to old France.
Yeah.
So Claude, you know, the Deguises. We need to we're always strengthening these relationships. I want to know who the ultimate puppet master is, because everyone's always like, okay, I get to this point and then I'm ultimate in control. And it's like, no, it's
very
one
true.
wrong move and it all comes flying down.
So true, because for a while it seemed like kind of Catherine was that, and then now it's her daughter who's married into the King of Spain, right?
Yeah.
So technically he's more powerful than Catherine. So it's like, the power's always shifting completely. But I thought it was cool to see Lisa there, and the whole Claude and Martel thing I liked. I'm
surprised they did it the way, I mean, Catherine is one for, she's an artist with subtlety, but at the same time, just getting her way.
Always.
And I love the brutalness of, because you know, the Inquisition into the death of the earlier thing, and using that against her now to say, like, hey, you know what, we could dig this further with him, but then it's gonna be public, and you don't want that, right?
You don't want that. I mean, I just love how Catherine always gets her way. She's so, like, conniving, and she's very smart about it. She's always so smart. And she even tells Claude, like, don't worry, I got you. You're not going to be marrying this guy. Just let me figure this out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that about her character.
I do, and you know, I'm excited in a perhaps sick and twisted way that Claude's gonna start to become, and this is the hope, I guess. She'll take the good traits of Catherine and hone it with her good sort of ethicalness.
Yeah, she could. She was definitely shocked when Martell came flying down the rafters, you know, after his apparent quote-unquote suicide. But I think she's definitely kind of going down that route with Catherine because she sees, like, it's easier just to do things your way and not have to succumb to, like, marrying somebody you don't want to marry.
Yeah.
You know, it's worked out pretty well for Catherine. She gets what she wants, and she hasn't really had to pay a price.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
Which is the luckiest thing ever.
Yeah.
But in terms of Claude and Leith, you know, she says that she just doesn't feel like he's dead. And everyone keeps telling her, wake up to the reality, which, I mean, yeah, how do you have a feeling whether someone's dead or not?
I don't know. I'm kind of with her. I just don't think he's dead. But
well, as an audience member, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think she just wants to hold on to that hope because she really did love him. And I think it's hard if you don't see the person's actual body to be like, oh, yeah, they're dead. You just hear all these rumors and you don't really know. Yeah. And especially when Martell said that he found that letter on his burned body. It's like,
first off, wouldn't it be burnt?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, my God, come on.
You know?
Come on. You did not learn from Narcisse, you know?
No.
How to be sneaky about things.
The devil is in the details.
Exactly. That was my first thought. It's like, it wasn't even burnt. It wasn't even charred.
No.
Nothing.
So, but I feel for her, and obviously we've come to grow to love Leith, you know, as sort of, it's thrown out there, you know, the kitchen boy. We've seen Leith go from a kitchen boy to quiet, you know,
he worked his way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do want to see him and see him sort of back, although I'm sure it'll be sort of, hopefully it'll be the right sort of cheesy if he does come back.
What's the right sort of cheesy, Phil?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a line like I knew it. I felt that you weren't dead, and here you are.
Right. All of a sudden, he's just there, and it's wonderful, and we can get married.
The right sort of cheesy is the right music, which Reign typically tends to choose. So they'll just kind of build it. Remember, I think it was the penultimate episode last season where, you know, the music built up, and then Mary comes into Scotland, and so all we really need is just the build up of the music.
That's true.
So
whoever does the music does a great job.
This is true.
Yeah.
So other than that, nothing more there, but, you know, it's good to see sort of Catherine and whatnot. In terms of, you know, you made that connection, sort of the storylines coming together. I'm wondering how this one's going to sort of come together because, I mean, the way I see it down the line, Narcisse, obviously he's, you know, a French patriot, and so he'll sort of perhaps go back there and then help out Mary and whatnot, but as of right now, it looks like France is sort of on their own.
Yeah, there's, you know, they're kind of the island, even though they're not technically an island right now in the story. I don't know if Narcisse will go back so quickly because he seems to be very tied to Lola's son, who is now in the English court, right? Elizabeth's taking care of him, which, yeah, I mean, she does owe him a lot, but it will be interesting to see where French court goes now that Mary's not there to be like the tie in between the three kind of countries. But I still love seeing French court.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's always mischief afoot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whenever there's Catherine, there's something.
Exactly.
All right, so switching gears, let's talk about good old Narcisse. You know, because he helped Mary and whatnot. So, you know, because it was interesting how they all figured it out. And by the way, in a way, it was like the quickest murder mystery ever.
It was.
But I guess in that respect, the way you sort of look at it is like, as an audience, we know that it was John Knox.
Right.
So why delay it for them? You know, you can't just so they were able to figure it out. Gideon, he's still very intriguing.
He is. Do you think that he's still on Mary's? He's still on Mary's side, right? That's that's how I kind of interpret it as. But he is an Englishman.
Well, he's always, I believe him because he said it to Elizabeth,
right?
But he's always had that conversation with Mary of like, I love you and I want to be with you, but my country comes first,
right?
And so he's been honest about it.
Yeah, he has.
And I truly do believe him.
I think I do too, because especially with his conversation with Elizabeth was very kind of open-hearted. Like he said, he doesn't want them to be fighting. It's like, if you guys would just sit and talk this through, like, you don't have to be in this tug of war constantly, because this is only going to lead to war. So I think just him saying that shows that, he's still got the hots for Mary.
But that was... It also, I think, he did come at it from a good place for both Mary and Elizabeth. But it was a rare moment of seeing Elizabeth's sort of more vulnerable side, because she said, like, I don't want to get to know her.
Yeah, that was crazy, because, like, you're going to have to kill her, That's what he said. Like, why? Because you're probably going to have to kill her. Like, that's crazy. That's some crazy cousin stuff right there.
Yeah, and that's sort of... I know the answer is probably no, but it would be and obviously it's kind of based on historical fiction. Right. So they can't, at this point they've sort of veered off any which way.
Yeah.
However, I would love to sort of see, could something happen where they do join forces and like they done change the game? Like something, right?
Right.
Because why is it that has to be the predefined future?
You mean for the show, or just like in general?
For them.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like it's
That's
like
how it was in history.
Yeah, but
they were not friends.
Listen, I'm like Neo from the Matrix. I want to control my own destiny. This just seems like okay.
I get it. I totally I get where you're coming from as an audience member. You're just like, you guys are so similar in certain aspects. Like if you would just sit down and talk. Like, it could be girl power, you guys could rule the world, but...
Kill Johnny Knox.
Exactly, but of course there's some dude trying to just stink up the cheese and ruin the relationship.
Yeah, so, it would be interesting to see, I would love a meeting with Mary and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Of any kind.
That would be cool to see.
Very cool. But as I said, it was also good to sort of see that vulnerable side to Elizabeth. Which is very rare.
And especially when Gideon brought her into John's room and was like, you tell him that, his mom's not coming back if you think that this is worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about I guess also, and I know we're sort of jumping around, but in terms of the nanny, right, and how, because it basically now you have to wonder from Elizabeth's side that there's John Knox spies within English court, or influence. I don't know, spies, but because he got to obviously do that even though she didn't want to.
Right, but then she got shot with 2 arrows right when, right after she kind of gave up the name. What was that about?
Well, she chose to do that.
No, 2 arrows came from the back of her.
Yeah, but she...
Right. But the whole, she was a spy for him.
No. Well, what I'm saying is, because Gideon let her know that there's archers there. And to not make
I missed that. Didn't see that.
Which I thought, first off, that he was probably... Initially, I kind of thought, well, maybe he's lying. But when the arrows did come, I was like, okay. I must have
been writing my notes. Yeah, I missed that.
So, yeah, to me, what it implied was that she knowing, at that point, she was between a rock and a hard place, and neither outcome...
It was going to be good.
Yeah, so it was okay, just I'm ending it.
Just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why, again, going back to the Elizabeth and Mary thing, I don't want it to be like that, because it's okay, well, either way, it's going to suck, so might as well just kill yourself. Yeah. That's not what I want
so
from the show.
Yeah, I know.
You want something better.
But, they kind of have to follow history. Otherwise, people would be kind of upset because they were not friends. Not at all.
we're gonna rewrite history.
Okay, Phil.
Listen, people love.
You get on that. You let me know how that goes.
What's the Inglorious Bastards? That wasn't history, but people love that. They took, right?
Yeah.
You know, they killed Hitler and the Nazis.
That's true. That's
Spoiler alert.
Just in case you missed it. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people knew that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get my point. Like, I don't want it to be dreary. So,
Yeah.
what do you think Narcisse is gonna do? Because obviously, as you mentioned, he cares for John.
Yeah.
So, can he just sort of stay in the outskirts, or does he try to kidnap him? Like, what?
I think he
what's the
tries. Yeah,
game
I think
plan?
he tries to get John somehow. I don't think he's leaving England without the child because he's just so heartbroken that Lola died for pretty much no reason, and he was attached to the kids. So I think to honor her, he's not leaving without him. I think he's gonna stick around. I think he'll be around for a little bit, and then he'll probably kidnap him somehow and take him back to France.
Lola and Narcisse, they're very Shakespearean in the sense that they were the perfect couple, just never at the right time.
Yeah,
You
never
know?
at the right time.
So
Ever. I mean, God, yeah, they're totally star-crossed in that aspect.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe it was all of his bad deeds coming back to haunt him.
for sure. For sure. All right, let's move on to Scotland.
Yeah.
I did like the recap that Mary sort of had at the beginning. We're doing sword fighting, we're training, and we've sort of reset the table of like, okay, here's the goals. And she needs to strengthen her alliance.
Right.
Now, our biggest new character that I think we're going to see for at least a little bit is Darnley. That's who she's
Yeah.
going after. She's advised not to do so and instead to strengthen the individual clans. And she says maybe there's a way to do both.
Yeah, so she's on a mission to find Darnley and marry him because that he has the stronghold of the Catholics. And it's so funny because Elizabeth knows exactly what she's trying to do. And so she's hunting also for Darnley. And I think it'll be interesting to see how this character, progresses, especially with Mary. Because at the end, Mary's very definitive about, like, she needs him to gain her strength in Scotland. So it'll be interesting to see.
Well, how do you take it? Because obviously the mother, Darnley's mother,
Right.
is very much in favor of this. And she's manipulated. That was a great conversation between her and Elizabeth.
Yeah, it was.
But then he shows up at court on her wishes.
Yep.
So where do you think Darnley is? Is he playing sides? What's his ultimate intent?
I think his ultimate intent is to marry the chick that his mom said he couldn't marry. And so if that means that he has to go to Elizabeth's side, I think that's probably what he'll do. It'll be interesting to see how, when Mary finds out that he did meet with Elizabeth, what she plans to do about all that and how she deals especially with his mother. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
But I think from what I could tell of this episode, he's in love with somebody who his mom says, he can't marry, and she's engaged to somebody else, and he just wants to be with her. And if that means staying in England, then he'll stay in England and do whatever Elizabeth says,
That is the dumbest.
Why do you think that's so dumb? If you were him, you'd go to Mary?
I don't think the decision to go to Elizabeth is dumb necessarily. I just think the notion that the reason behind it is dumb. However, if there's any person that can understand that reason and utilize it, it's Elizabeth because of her
Exactly.
relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
And the one she never could have. So.
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see that develop. And I want to get to know him more so that way we can learn more of his true intentions.
Right, and his character. Because right now it was just, a couple minutes on screen. So this will be interesting.
But speaking of people manipulating their children, the Earl of Clan Gordon.
Yeah.
Clan Gordon, what a title.
I know. Clan Gordon. All sorts of clans up in Scotland.
That son was the most interesting son.
Bless Bless his heart.
He's
he had
special.
palpitations.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
just got nervous around women, especially Mary. I mean, she's gorgeous, so I get that. But yeah, he was just thrust into something he wasn't ready for.
No, not at all.
No.
I mean, we'll backtrack a bit, but in terms of Mary's plan, I think she was so caught off guard how easy that was.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure she had like in mind to like sort of seduce him a little bit further, and then like
Right.
maybe I don't know.
And she was looking at his sword too, like she was gonna pull it out. 'Cause
Yeah,
they kept
she
on doing
was.
those cutaway shots. And yeah,
Listen,
then
it's
he
almost
just-
Valentine's Day.
It
50 Shades
is,
Darker.
it
Listen,
is.
that's not a
all
plug
good.
for either, but
She was looking at something. Yeah, and then he just passed out. So she was like, okay, well, that was easy. I'm gonna get up on out of here. So yeah. She's a smart girl.
it'll be interesting how how the sort of the rest of the clans also are taking to the news and how she's going to deal with them, because obviously she has to. And so this was a nice sort of start to it. And I love Mary being able to control her brother.
Yeah.
Her brother, listen, you can't even trust your own siblings.
I know. Like the worst. He's plotting against you with John Knox. He's like wants to be in power. It's just I can't imagine having a sibling like that. That would be bananas. Like who do you trust especially?
I don't
Bash
know.
isn't there anymore. Yeah,
Gotta
but I
get Bash.
love seeing her say like, "No, I'm your queen. You need to do this. You need to execute the guy that kidnapped me." Yeah.
And I you know what? I do think the way in which the brother went about it, obviously not the best, but I do think that now he is on her side.
Really? You think so?
Well, think about it. I mean, he said like, listen, he called John Knox a commoner.
Yeah, but
I
you
have royal
can
blood.
say that, but doesn't mean like he still wants power, I think.
Okay. You're right.
Just saying. I mean, I think we'll have to see exactly. It's so funny because I think that the actor that plays him has that face of like, you just want to trust him, ish. But then it's like he does these things and
Well, he's like a cute guy like
he is
Bash or
cute.
Francis.
Yeah, he's cute. So I mean, I don't know. I think there's still something underlying there with him. I don't trust him fully for Mary. And I think she doesn't trust him either.
No, not after that. And by the way, yes, for people wondering, you should totally judge someone based on their cuteness.
That's not what I meant when I said it. I was like, okay, that
that's what I'm
totally came out wrong. But he's a good-looking guy. I mean, it's Reign. They're all good-looking.
Well, some not always.
True that.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, I like Mary taking back her position and utilizing, and she was very smart to pick up on what the brother was doing. Like, you got here pretty damn quick.
Exactly. Yeah, when she said that, I didn't even think about that. I was like,
The French court taught her good.
good. Catherine taught her good.
And I think it was Catherine, Narcisse.
Everything.
It was all of them.
Yeah.
The old King Henry.
Oh, that's right.
He-
Taking it way back. Yeah.
so
She's a smart girl. I think all that got her, prepared for what she has to deal with now in Scotland and England,
yeah.
for sure.
Let's see the random questions. I guess that hopefully the answer is, where is Bash?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Is Laith really dead? I don't think so. You don't think so. So we'll find out about that. What are other sort of hanging?
What's
hanging
Greer
questions?
gonna do? Like, what's the story there with her?
Yeah. She's Castle Roy. They mentioned him about what's going on there and whatnot. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's all the questions I really had coming into season 4.
Well, I like it because it reset a lot of things. The Spanish thing's going to be interesting in terms
Yeah.
of France. So, yeah, like I said, today's episode was all about resetting the table and figuring out where the pieces go. So, here's this is so some
gossip.
This
Yes.
is some gossip, right?
I love gossip.
Rachel, who plays Queen Elizabeth, she tweeted a photo, or sorry, not tweeted, Instagrammed a photo of her and Adelaide, who plays obviously Mary, and apparently they're the best of friends.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Now, if you don't want it, if you don't like spoilers, tune out for like 20 seconds. And by the way, this is speculation, so it's not 100% rumor, but there's the notion that perhaps Mary and Elizabeth do meet because, it shows them together. So how could they really be hanging out on set and be besties if, they don't spend too much time? Like, they've never, in the show, seen each other.
That's so true. Yeah, they're not...
Although, to be fair, on a set, like...
Yeah, it could be right next door.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the cast, what I appreciate about this cast, they are pretty close overall.
It seems like it. I follow them on Instagram, and it seems like they're all really buddy-buddy and tight and close, which is awesome to see. And I think it comes across when they're, on screen, the chemistry.
Yeah. And Adelaide Kane did a full Q&A on Facebook as well, so definitely check that out. So a lot of good stuff out there. Whenever a season premieres, you get a lot of great news. So definitely go out there and check it out. But without further ado, predictions?
Oh, yeah. Wow. To think of some.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
All right. I think if my longer term prediction is that Leif comes back like episode 3 or 4.
Yeah.
That's my longer term prediction.
Oh, you took mine. That was mine. I think he's gonna come back. Hopefully Bash will come back too.
He has to.
Yeah, and at least a couple of episodes. I think it's just kind of weird that he came to Scotland with Mary and then now he's just not there. And I
think that, like, Bash, we talked about it in season 3. He's the perfect sort of advisor to Mary.
Exactly. She can trust him.
Yeah.
Like, she needs him there. Everyone else is kind of new and foreign to her, even if they're related.
Yeah. And, she can confide in Greer. That's all well and good. And Greer's useful in her own way. But
Right.
Bash, obviously, he's got that hunting skill. Like, he can go out into the world and he'd be the guy I'd sent off to meet with these clans.
Exactly. Because he can go out and you can talk to them and whatnot. You can't really send Greer to do all that.
No.
All that jazz. I don't really think I have any other predictions. I think it would be really awesome to see Elizabeth and Mary together if that...
That is true.
Yeah, that would be super, super awesome.
I don't think we're getting that until
No,
probably
I
the
don't
season
think so.
finale.
Yeah.
I think for now, I think Elizabeth uses and abuses Darnley.
Ah, okay.
All
right.
And hopefully hopefully we're not just going to kill off potential heirs or like marriages.
What do you mean?
Well, like much in the way of like with at French court, right? We
Right.
killed him. And so the notion like, okay, well, you know what? I don't really want to marry him, but I also don't want Mary to marry her,
okay.
him rather. So let's just kill him.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So kill Darnley.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think his character will be around for a while, but she could use and abuse him, like you said, and then afterwards kind of nix it.
Yeah. Because again, like when you pointed on a great thing that I didn't think about, the fact that he loves this girl.
Right.
And we've seen it before. That's where that's going to be used. Again,
Exactly.
any girlfriend or any relationship you have can and will be used you in a court of rain.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
That is so true. It comes back to bite you.
So all right, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
All right, well, thank you guys
good.
for joining us yet again. As we mentioned, Keaton JB will be sprinkling themselves throughout the season. We'll be bringing back Castle Corner as a special segment, and hopefully still having news and gossip as well for you. But in the meantime, nonetheless, you can always look forward to me and Alina. Where can the people follow you?
You guys can follow me on all social media at Alina Vision. That's ALINAVISSION.
There you go, and follow us here at AfterBuzz TV. Thank you guys so much for joining us. You know, Reign's been quite an interesting journey, and I love being on it with you guys, as Alina does too. So, comment, let us know your opinion on the episode. That's what makes this a community. We love it. You guys have great thoughts. Until then, bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.